We've got these two systems. One of them is a sort of a rational system, a thinking system, and the other is an experiential system or subconscious system. And when we're stuck in the rational, it takes a lot of effort to think about things. We often depress ourselves with thoughts, particularly about the future. And the more, through skill development and training, we can shift the focus from the rational to the experiential, to our body, and give ourselves over to challenges of the body, the more we're likely to enter this very blissful state of flow. With the right kind of practice, daily practice, you can enter this flow state and have the benefit of it for the rest of your day. Now, what I've tended to do is use 2 or 3 trails, so I kind of get used to the contours, the bumps, the hard bits, the easy bits, and so I'm not constantly scanning the environment to see what next, what do I do. It's I have to keep an eye on where I am, obviously the local environment, but I can really attack them knowing the challenge kind of which is coming. There are a few key characteristics that bring out the flow experience, and then if you can think how this perfectly fits with your EUC experience. The first is that you need to really concentrate on the moment, an intense concentration and focus on the moment. Here I am, I'm crossing a road, I'm focusing on the moment, I'm looking at the road ahead, I'm looking for potholes, you know, I'm beyond the stage now where I need to look at my feet and the wheel and see what it's doing. So in that sense, the Z10 has become a part of me, and sort of me and the Z10, the unit, are working together to navigate, you know, familiar trails. So yes, an intense focus on the moment. So the second characteristic of flow activities is the merging of awareness and action, and this is exactly what I'm doing. My feet, the micro movements that my feet make, my leg, my adjusting of the balance. This is a lot of why this reminds me of Aikido. My conscious mind has no idea what's happening. My conscious mind is talking to you, right? Everything else about me is taking me along this trail. So yeah, the merging of awareness and action, the tight coupling, that releases the flow state in us. The third point, a loss of reflective self-consciousness. Now, because I'm engaged in the activity, I'm not really thinking about what do I look like. There is a bit of that one. I get a wow from people, obviously. It's actually very important. It's very therapeutic. We're not judging ourselves. We give ourselves a break from ourselves, you know. And so many people. I mean, I've read on the forums about guys and girls who are, you know, they've been depressed in their normal life, and they find, you know, better than hitting alcohol or drugs, you know, they get on a wheel, and not only the challenge of learning it, but the entering this reflective self-conscious for an hour or two a day is very good for them. It really is a meditation. You know, give yourself a break, go out on your wheel, just focus on, you know, the activity, being at one with everything in nature. And that's another thing, I love trails because I love nature. You know, I'm not stuck behind an exhaust of a car out here. Is a sense of control over the situation. I mean, the way technology is moving in cars, you know, who's ever going to enter into a flow state in a driverless car? You know, madness. And the same for EUCs, you know, we've got to be careful that when they evolve, that we don't lose too much control. You know, there's a risk that perhaps suspension could take away a little bit of the total control you feel, your feet on the foot pedals, moving things around. But the requirement of the activity is that you're not passive, that you're not a victim, that you have control over your destiny, literally. And again, with an EUC, they're so responsive. You know, you can go quick, you can go slow, you can turn, you can go forwards and backwards, much more so than a two-wheel vehicle or a four-wheel vehicle. So yeah, that feeling of control is key, and that's another reason why EUCs help people with their moving meditation. Now, the next sensation you get from an EUC in flow is it bends and warps time. I mean, I know because I've got an app in my pocket telling me the duration of the ride, and most of my rides are about 90 minutes. But when I'm actually really going at it, the feeling, it feels, you know, 10-15 minutes one way. I can't put a number on it, but you lose yourself in the activity, perhaps like a really good film, you know, a really good film. You just feel, oh, that's over already, you know. And it's that experience with the EUC. The sense of time gets warped because you're so enveloped in the activity. Yeah, it's beautiful. Again, lose yourself. On a wheel, the immediate feedback is obviously if I hit a stone or a hole and I go off, and you know, I'm not going to hurt myself. I've got protective gear on, but that's the immediate feedback. I've broken my flow, I've come off. And partly why we're so engaged in the situation is because there's always immediate feedback, whether it be changing the speed or preventing an accident. Now, the next point is about the feeling of succeeding. Now, this is very much what happens just after you've started your EUC experience. When I got mine, it just felt, for a weekend, felt almost impossible that I was going to be able to do what I'm doing now. And then there was a few weeks where the flow was so much geared towards these little accomplishments, the feeling of succeeding. And even now, because I use regular trails, I know that I don't time myself to say go quicker and quicker, but I kind of know how well I've done on a trail, how I took certain bumps, the way, you know, the whole experience. So there's a feeling of succeeding in doing familiar trails better each time. Now, another point is that the activity of flow should be inherently pleasant. The sensation of doing it should be pleasant. And you know, even if you're going at 5-10 miles an hour on a wheel like this, and you're in a beautiful place like this, it's hard not to describe this as pleasant. You know, when you're riding hard and you're pushing it, it's a different kind of pleasant. You know, it's a exhilaration. Your body changes. Oh, and you miss your turn. No, I didn't. Now, a similar point with the next characteristic is that you feel so engrossed in the situation, especially when you're pushing it, that all your other needs get neglected. And this is similar to the you know, not torturing yourself with bad thoughts. You're focused on this, but it's a serious point, you know. You might forget that you need a drink or some food. So yeah, it's such an engrossing experience. You forget not just yourself, but you know, sometimes your most basic needs. Maybe set an alarm to remind you to have a drink. And all you really need to do is talk to an EUC rider when their wheel has gone into repair, or if they've got a high performance wheel and they're left with a, you know, a baby wheel. It does feel like the sunshine has been taken away from you. And it's kind of, yes, it sounds like it's addictive, but it's a good addictive, right? It's good for your soul, it's good for your body. You have to be safe, right? We don't really want stories of guys ending up in hospital because they're trying to do too much too soon. But to have it as a part of your day, you know, I don't have to commute on mine. I just go out for rides the way that people would go out for a walk. You know, take the dog for a walk. I take the wheel for a walk. But I've never regretted getting on it. Every morning I might feel tired. I try and go early because my children are still asleep, and I can, you know, spend the day with them after. And I spend the day in a much better mood, right? I go back, I buzz energy, I look exhilarated. They're waking up with sleepy eyes, and I just look like I've, I don't know, climbed a mountain. I've just done about 8 miles. I mean, fair enough, I was talking with you, but it feels like I've only just left the house. And you can see where I am. This is called Basset Cove. You can see the trail along here. So, you know, it's enough to be in environments like this, let alone being on an EUC, let alone going quickly on an EUC. On a sunny day at the beginning of summer. After lockdown, fair enough, it's a bit windy. But we don't mind the wind when we're down here.